and now turn it back to you. Turn it to you. Okay. Right. Then I'm going to go to the side.
Because they have no trust in the ministry. It's all about transparency on the ground, what's really going on the streets.
So he got here in time, huh? Oh, Jay-Z. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Absolutely not.
Hey man, how you doing?
When Nunez finishes, he turns it over to you.
Oh, really? Then I so John, this is like this is going up to the 12.
Yeah. When I give it back to you, right? You're a closer. You're a closer. Oh, closer. So just introduce down the line. No. Okay. This one. So the prayer that has been we'll follow the original plan. Yeah. You, me, him. Yeah. The prayer wasn't meant to be. It was just good. So we have our prayer. Yes. Come on, y'all. Let's have our prayer. My only question. So let's have our prayer. My only question is exactly. Let's have a prayer. God, we pray for our community, we pray for our city, and oh God, we believe that we can have a better Baltimore. Yes. Bless us now, Lord. Lay the foundation for accountability, credibility, and transparency. Bless us now. We pray. Amen. All right. Let's give it just a couple more minutes to allow WMAR to get here. And then if they don't, they can catch us on. They asked to interview somebody. They got here a little late.
So how you want us to stand? So I come up, you want us to be on?
Yeah, let's stand here. And then for the faith leaders who aren't speaking, if we can just stand behind the podium. So for all the faith leaders who aren't speaking, just sort of stand kind of back here, social distance, you know.
Do you want us in the order we're going to go up?
Yeah. So we have
kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. All right.
Are you? Okay.
All right, 30 seconds, man. You good?
Yeah, man.
All right.
City of Baltimore, we are here to introduce you to Act Now Baltimore. It's a diverse leadership of faith-based hubs in each councilmatic district in Baltimore City. Persons who have made investments in their communities, persons who are leaders in their communities. We've joined together to make for a better Baltimore. Baltimore City has new leadership in the city council. A third of the city council is new. New leadership in the mayor and the president of city council and controller. But we want them to know today that we, Act Now Baltimore, is here to collaborate with them. We're also here to critique if they may go astray and to confront if their issues do not align with the people in our community. We're here also to make certain that the people in Baltimore City know that we have heard their voice. 16,000 people we have surveyed. There's over 60,000 members of our congregations, and they all want a better Baltimore. They all want to know that they can live in a city that is safe. They all know that they want to live in a city that is moving forward. They all want to hear that there is accountability in government, that there's credibility in the leadership, and that there's transparency in the dealings that our city is involved. And we're here now as Act Now Baltimore to let the city of Baltimore know that we heard your cries. And we as faith leaders are here to step up to the plate to ensure that our community moves forward as our mayor says it will. We want to say to the mayor that we're here to work with you. We're here to make certain that you are indeed the best mayor that Baltimore City can have. But we also want you to know that we are also here to ensure that you do not fall into the traps that others have fallen into. We want to make certain that you understand that you have a source that you can come to when you find yourself in moments of weakness. We are here to be your strength. And so we say to the leaders of Baltimore City that Act Now Baltimore is committed, Act Now Baltimore is determined, Act Now Baltimore will ensure that the residents, those voices at the bottom of the well, those voices that are the last, the least, and the lost, that they are heard. We're going to conduct conversations in our neighborhoods and communities. Each city council district has over 43,000 people. We're going to make certain that all of them are heard. And so I introduce you today to the leaders of Act Now Baltimore. They are faith leaders, all have tremendous and outstanding track records of service. They provide after-school care. They provide clothing. They provide housing. They're involved in each one of their areas. And today, you're going to see that we have all come together to make for a better Baltimore. With that, I want to introduce you to Bishop J.L. Carter, and he will tell you the service and the community in which he serves.
I am Bishop J.L. Carter. I'm the pastor of Ark Church in East Baltimore. Our church is in the 12th district. We're here today for a few reasons. One, we love our city. We believe in our city, and we believe our city can do far better than what it is doing. It's real easy to identify the failures. It's real easy to identify the missteps, to talk about what's not being done. But we rather choose to identify those things and yet also create a solution to those things that we find that are not in the great interests of our city. Our presence today is a presence that provides unity across all the faith traditions. This is not just a one denominational thing, but all the denominations are represented here. And we believe that as our city is comprised of 14 districts, that we are called to represent all 14 districts. I'm convinced that we can do far more together than we can certainly apart. I am a registered Democrat, but I recognize that there are some things that we cannot ignore. There are some things we cannot sweep under the rug. There are some things that we have to deal with, and we've got to realize that we have a greater calling. I believe that we can have a better local government. I believe that the people who we elected can do far better than what they're doing, and we want to partner with them. We want to reason with them, counsel with them, and yet provide the kind of leadership that is needed. We want a better Baltimore. We want better schools. We want better safety in our community. We want better health care. We want every citizen to feel that they are important. And to do that, we've got to work together. So rather than talk about what's wrong, we're convinced that we've got to create something exciting and something new. I'm excited about this because this is a gathering that I've not seen in a long time. This is a gathering that I feel that will make a tremendous difference. As you have already heard, it's important that we understand accountability is very crucial. Credibility is crucial as well. And certainly transparency is very real. And so that's why we stand on this mantra of Baltimore, Act Now. At this time, Bishop Nunez is coming to share.
Forgive me, but I gotta take this off. My name is Bishop Angel Nunez. I am the senior pastor of the Bilingual Christian Church of Baltimore. I am also the president of the Multicultural Prayer Movement. Let me tell you that the time has come where the church is coming out of the shadows and stepping back into the forefront. For too long, when something happens in our community and in our city, few reach out to us. And if they do it less than 24 hours before an event. What are we to do when we receive notice 24 hours before something is going to happen? Let me give you a very brief example. Yesterday, the Baltimore Sun, or in the Baltimore Sun, there was a front page article about efforts and effects of COVID-19 and the vaccine in the Hispanic community. They said they were trying to reach Hispanics even at bus stops. Nobody reached out to us, in spite of the fact that we have given in our local church COVID-19 tests in our facilities, that we have fed over 3,000 Hispanic families with foods that meet their diet, that we are offering our building as a facility distribution site. In parentheses, we can fit up to 800 people. So please hear me. We do not seek publicity. We are seeking partnership. My point is that the church has become an afterthought, even though it is the first place our people go for help, because they trust us and don't connect with local government for the most part. Yet, we are not included in the planning and implementation process. Other groups are, and that's fine with us. However, let me make it clear. We aim to change that and become a bridge between our people and elected officials. That is why we are here and we stand together as one voice. Thank you.
Now we have Bishop Gregory Dennis.
Good morning. I'm Bishop Gregory Dennis, senior pastor of Kingdom Worship Center, as well as owner of a low-income housing in the Govans community. I'm so glad to be with us on this morning as we talk about Act Now for Baltimore, as we look for accountability, credibility, and transparency. Here we are with so many constituents who are part of our congregations, but their voices have not always been heard. We have always seen our elected officials to come into our sanctuaries, to come to our churches and our events a month before election time. And this type of season is actually changing. Instead of you showing up at our doors prior to election, we will be at your door all year long. We will be making sure that your accountability, that your credibility, and your transparency is something that we are able to see and to witness. It is something that will go back to the residents of our community. We have been in the community working for years after years, And I'm excited about this because this is, as Bishop J.L. Carter has said, is going across denominational lines, and we are looking at synergy happening here. So this is not just the effort of one church in one community. Though we have churches represented in every councilmatic district, this is us doing it together, because we know that the way synergy works is echoed in our holy scriptures, which says that one can chase 1,000, but two is able to put 10,000 to flight. So we are able to walk together and stand together to make sure that we are holding our representatives accountable and that we are making sure that they remain credible, and we look for transparency to happen. Thank you so much.
I want to have Bishop Clifford Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bishop Clifford Johnson. I'm the senior pastor of the Mount Pleasant Church and Ministries, and I'm so glad to be a part of this effort today. I come from a generation where the church was the center of everything we did. And because it was the center of everything we did, it somehow has gone astray. But today we come to bring that back to where it needs to be, across denominational lines, because our scripture says unity is what commands the blessing. And no matter what denomination you're with, we all have the same concerns concerning our city. So we're together today to let the city officials and everyone know that we are going to hold you accountable to the things you've asked us to do to get you elected. So we're going to be together with what we're going to do to make a difference in the community. We serve a large number of people in our church because we've been serving thousands of people every week. Jesus said the poor you're going to have with them always, but he didn't tell us to ignore them. So we've been taking care of the poor and the homeless from our facility, and we're going to see if we can do something to make that happen even more. Thank you for being here today, and I'm so glad to be a part of this unified effort to make a difference in a city that's in deep crisis. Thank you.
I want to just announce now our Act Now covenant with government. We, the faith institutions, are the anchor institutions throughout Baltimore City's councilmatic districts, and well suited to open dialogue between the community and elected officials. We look to collaborate, and we have collaborated with elected officials, community members, stakeholders to better serve our community. We will also critique and confront when we see actions that are not in alignment with accountability, credibility, and transparency, or when the needs of the people are not being met by those who are in power. We will serve as a bridge between those who do not normally communicate with government or elected officials whose decisions and actions affect their everyday lives. This is our covenant with government. Act Now, faith institutions that are anchor institutions in the communities they serve. Thank you.
At the end of the press conference, we have many faith leaders available for close interviews.
You have any questions? Are you all right? Okay, all right. Good.
The message was on point.
Oh man, thank you.
That's what that meant.
It's a great day.
Great.
Oh man.
How you guys doing?
I gotta call you, man.
Hey, quick question for you. How you doing, man? Fine. I used to play drums at Pastor Sean Bell Church.
Sean Bell,
I got a question for you though. Like, why is it like the pastors don't like speak out against like socialism, communism, Marxism, those types of things that really want to replace God, especially within our communities? Like, why is it that the clergy won't speak out about stuff like that?
Well, it depends on which clergy you talk to. Well, I appreciate you saying that. On who you grab.
But I mean, you're in a group. You're in a group.
We didn't do that here.
No, I understand, but
I do address that.
Okay.
I personally address that.
Okay.
Now, in terms of a coming to group, now I know your pastor. You're there now. But I'm with you on that. I think we should, and The organizations that I've been a part of have been very conservative.
Obviously, energy concentrated on